probably any cost cutting measure on the title side. And when I got into the oil and gas industry, I was told by people much older than me, you absolutely have to understand title in order to be a landman. Regardless of what your role is within a land service company, public or private, you have to understand title. You have to understand how to meet landowners face to face, negotiate oil and gas leases. And then that gets more into you need to understand HBP title, due diligence, and basically how do you add value on the land service side? I think that, as an example, if Heritage were to reach out to, a land service company and say, hey, we've got this section, it looks prospective to us for whatever XYZ formation. Can you go ahead and give us kind of an audit of that section of how you approach it? So let's just say hypothetically, if half that section is leased, well, there's no reason to run title on that half section. If somebody's taking 3 or 5 year leases on the east half, it's like, okay, well, let's cut out the east half. Let's only focus on the west half. Okay, so let's talk about the west half. When's the last base leases that were taken in the west half? Let's say it's 2017. So, okay, well, looks like the majority of the west half has a nice set of base leases that have expired. So we've got relatively good names and addresses from mineral ownership on the west half. We can do a quick cursory check to see if they divested themselves of their minerals between 2017 and now, and then start making those contacts. So making those contacts, I think, is critical, and getting those verbal commitments, and then maybe running reverse title on the backside from 2023 back to at least 2017, if not all the way back to patent, just to confirm that they own what they think that they own. I think those are the little intricacies that are cost cutting, cost saving for operators, instead of saying, here's a section of land, and a land service company goes, okay, well, then we're just going to run the whole thing from patent, and we'll probably deliver it to you within 30 to 60 days. And in 30 or 60 days, let's say somebody else has approached it with a different strategy, and the west half is now 100% leased. So essentially, you've got a mineral ownership report that you can do nothing with because the whole section is leased. So I think those type of things of coming up with unique ways, and a lot of it comes from industry experience, right? Being on that side for a long period of time, how we can help operators, other public, private oil and gas companies save money.
Absolutely, and you have a great perspective on our industry because you were in it, right? And I think it takes exactly what you were saying. We do that for some clients. We do it more on the due diligence side, obviously, but it really takes a in-house landman to know what they're doing with that particular unit and how quickly we need to get in there, how competitive it is, and what you really want out of it. I think most companies usually are going into it going, we're going to get a title opinion. For a title opinion, you're going to have to take a patent to present. You're going to have to build a run sheet and try to make, what we do is we try to make it easy for the attorney, because usually while we're $550 a day, they're $450 an hour, So right. The better product that we can hand to that particular attorney, so he or she can get through it quicker, ultimately in the end saves money. So I think what Josh is getting to the point, there's a lot of ways to do this job. There's a lot of different ways to do it. And depending on what our clients' needs are, you approach it differently. And I've worked with Josh for a long time. He's always coming up with great ideas on how to do something. And it does. I mean, I don't know how much actually on the back end falls on you, Josh, but I mean, we get through your stuff pretty quickly because you know what you want, and that's right. A big part of that.